as I get to take whatever fire and just be able to fly, I'm happy.
No, in Gen 1, I want to be an Infernal, baby.
And I was like, Hansky!
That was the most thrown together improvised thing I've ever done. Be like, you didn't get any
authority,
of the parts
antisocial.
What you're not telling us is that you've seen DxD like 7,000 times.
I want to be able to describe the universe so easily.
I was like, holy did you tell them I'm in that? And she's like, no.
Now, coverage like no other. Bringing you videos from the event floor. You're watching convention coverage.
So, how have you guys been considering the last, I mean, are we going to recognize last year at all? I mean, how has it been over the course of the last year to go through everything we've been through? I mean, how have you guys been keeping busy and...
Well, I'm pretty sure we all have our own stories of dealing with life in the panini.
Brioche panini? Are you hungry?
Yeah,
Do you need dinner?
Yeah. Anyway, so for me, I know when season 2 started recording, I was still going up to the studios, and then the world changed a little bit. And then suddenly, we weren't going into studios at all. And there for a little while, I was just, trying to make something like a recording studio in my closet, which was a walk-in closet, which held all of my wife's clothes, which my wife was not happy about when I took that over. And then, we started recording the entirety of the second season from home, which was a miracle of technology for some of us. Some of us had recording, setups and studios, but I did not at the time. But I was so thankful for all the, the incredible stuff that Funimation and all the tech wizards that sent in, so we could start working from home. And I mean, initially, what I was working with, like an iPad and like a USB mic. It was.
We never go back to it.
Yeah, that was fun. And then, through like just incredible, like, we are going to do this. We managed to just get through the entire second season, and it was actually like it was really nice once I got used to the concept of not being able to see the director and just visualize in my closet.
Yeah, recording from home was great because I finally got a chance to direct myself.
Yeah.
Finally got the performance I needed for Benimaru.
And then Aaron found out that he's actually a diva.
Anything Kyle could have possibly done with me. So.
No, so for those who didn't know, so when the pandemic went down, Funimation shut down for 7 weeks until they figured out a way to record remotely. And then with My Hero, they were like, okay, we got to record. So they sent out, we called it the actor kit. And it was an iPad, a mic that plugs directly into it. I guess I was basically in like headphones and all the other stuff.
Yeah.
And so it was great to be a director during the actor kit times because it was just like, yeah, it sounded great. Because you couldn't really do anything because like the actor was doing all the like moving
engineer.
around. Yeah, the actor was the engineer, and the engineer was there just to make sure levels were good and everything sounded great, but like you felt like a glorified highlighter as a director.
Nothing changed for the writers except now I had to learn to write while also homeschooling children. So, like, they would, like, come in and they'd be talking to me, and I'm like, no, I have to start over on this line that I just did. And so from the writing side of things, like, it didn't really change at all, except now there were, like, more obstacles. And there's, like, dogs. And
yeah, a lot of dogs.
The dogs are like, now that you're home all the time, I need to pee constantly.
Why are you away from me?
Why are you not petting me?
I have a question for you.
Yes.
So for those who don't know, when you write, you're also acting, because you can't just in your head like think of a good line because you think faster than you speak. So when you're writing, you're out loud like saying these lines. So did you ever have to write anything on the more rated R side of things? And so you're having to say these lines out loud with your kids around?
Oh my gosh, that's a good question. I mean, slime is always kind of on the border of weird. I think I got pretty lucky. Like, oh no, wait, was I writing Neko Para at the time? I might have been.
It was one of the Nekopara was one of the first ones that was continued during the. It was like show number 3, I think, that they continued.
Yeah, I mean, I might have been writing that. I had to write Kakushigoto, which had its moments of like kind of dirty jokes. So there was times, it was actually more embarrassing for Cliff because he was directing. So he'd be like directing and then I'd be like across the table writing and someone would be like, who's that? And he's like, oh, that's Kristen. Sorry, she's writing a show. I was like, sorry, tell them I love them and I miss them. Tyler Walker definitely walked by one night at like 10 o'clock when I was writing High School DxD season 4. And he definitely like walked by and then stopped and came back like backwards and like looked at me and I was like, boob zombies. What are you going to do?
What you gotta do?
Yeah, so that's what it's been like.
So great.
A little bit of organization, a little bit of chaos. Cool.
Yeah, by the end, I feel like we got a lot of terrible acting out right off the bat. Thank goodness.
We also got to finally embody the voice actor stereotype, which is working in our pajamas.
Yes.
Pants
Wasn't
optional.
a real thing until we started working from home.
I've definitely rolled out of bed and like right into the booth. Like just out of the bed, rolled down the stairs into the booth.
Like my
Didn't even
session's
walk.
at 10 a.m., which means I can get out of bed at 9:52.
But do y'all remember in the beginning we used video? Like, remember like those first few weeks
You wanna
when
look
everyone was
impressive?
using video and that quickly went away?
I never used video. I never have turned
You
off the
didn't?
camera. Not once.
The actors would though. Like that was like part of it. Yeah.
Because
And
they
then it
want
went
to
away.
look how good I can act.
I was just like, look at my whisper room. It's so expensive.
You guys are having to do voice acting via Zoom. Is that kind of the...
Zoom. Like a lot of studios,
Depends.
there doesn't seem to be one way of doing it. Like lots of different studios kind of have their own thing going on, but Source Connect seems to be the common denominator between everybody. And so that's how, now that we don't have to rough engineer ourselves anymore, which, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that's
Oh yeah, it's much better to be an actor than my own
the
engineer.
engineer can just like, the engineer is someplace else and he or she can just catch our audio and then they can do everything. But we have to have like something that shows us the script and something that shows us the video. And so Zoom seems to be pretty popular for video, but then like Funimation uses Microsoft Teams for that instead of Zoom. And then some people
places
use
Skype.
Skype. Some places use like TeamViewer Meeting for the script. Some places use like I think Sound Cadence does Zoom, and the engineer just like shares their desktop, so it has the video and the script
That's
all
the
on one
best.
thing. It's the best. It's the most streamlined, I think. But yeah, so everyone, and then some other studios do something totally different.
Yeah.
So
Whatever works to get it done. Yeah.
Yeah, so just imagine like what can go wrong, but it usually doesn't. I'm just kidding. It's like a miracle of technology that we're able to do all this stuff from home now. Like some of us, like myself, I've finally gotten a studio. I got around to it, and it's just I had the opportunity to come into a studio. I do now a little bit, but now I know where all my hidey holes for my snacks are in my studio.
Isn't your
Pretty
studio
nice.
shaped like a TARDIS?
It
too?
is. My studio is a TARDIS.
Like super cool.
Yeah, and because I'm short, it
Wow,
is
you
bigger on the
win.
inside.
You
yeah.
win studio award. That's cool.
Mine doesn't look like a TARDIS.
No.
I just go ooh wee as I walk in.
Bigger on the inside. So,
I'm studying to be studying to be an AR director / script writer / a little bit of voice acting. So Jade and Cullen are the experts of dubbing. So I was trying to say, do you have any tips or things to do? Oh God, I'm so nervous.
It's all right.
Do you have any classes or suggestions to take any of these certain things to do? I know taking voice acting classes, you have to take acting classes and audition, so I know that. Any tips or tricks?
I mean, that's always my advice is if you want to get into voice acting, don't. Instead, get into acting. Make sure you want to be an actor.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are like, I just want to do voice acting. That's fine.
Yeah.
But you'll limit yourself. You're going to hit a glass ceiling. You need to
Yeah.
have a full array of skills.
Yeah.
And you learn things doing theater. You learn things doing improv, all these other different forms of acting that you
Yeah.
need to kind of become a fully
Yeah.
blossomed actor. And so you just need to make voice acting a slice
Okay.
of your acting pie.
Yeah.
Why be a leaf when you can be a whole tree?
That's right.
And I come from a singing background, so I always like to recommend that for learning about your voice and learning how to control your voice and learning about vocal control, like singing in any form and learning how to sing, being part of a choir, taking voice lessons, doing musical theater, that kind of stuff is going to always teach you just more about your instrument in general.
Okay. Thank you for the question.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So this is a question for everyone. So let's say if you were thrown into the world of Fire Force, if you had a choice, which pyrokinetic generation would you want to join? Second, third, or non-powered?
You left out a generation.
Oh,
We're second generation, third generation. What was the third option?
non-powered.
No, in Gen 1, I want to be an Infernal, baby. Like one of the giant Infernals, just going around causing havoc.
Yeah, saying a couple of sassy one-liners as you, Trump.
Well, one of the sentient ones.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I like that episode.
Dang.
I'm refusing to answer your question. I don't want to choose. There's no sweeter world than being second and third together, hybrid.
Oh, wait, so yeah, just to clarify, so Gen 2 can't create their own fire, they can control it. Gen 3 can create their own fire.
Which one is Maki? I think her power is adorable.
She's Gen
She's got a hat.
3. She's 2. She's 2.
Yeah, she takes the fire and then turns
I
them into
want
little
to
buddies.
wear a witch's hat and have little fire spirits.
Yeah, little fire buddies.
Generation I want
Fire
to
buddies.
be.
Little fire pals.
Yeah, I want to be able to create
I want to
fire.
be the fire spirit.
Gen 3.
Sputter.
Sputter
Yeah.
and flare.
Sputter and flare. Yeah.
Sputter or flare, either or. I would be
Cute
fine.
fire.
As long as I get to take whatever fire and just be able to fly, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Feet fire.
Feet fire.
And then you never have to wear shoes like a hobbit.
Yes.
Yes.
I think that's
I
Gen 2, Gen 3.
said
Say
I want to
3.
be cute fire.
Cute fire.
you just want to be a
Alexis
cute
and I
fire.
can be the cute
We'll be
fires.
Yeah, we'll be cute fire.
Yeah.
Justin wants to be unpowered.
Yeah, it's too much responsibility. I don't want to run hot, you know?
Hey.
Ooh.
Just want to be like a cat, like an Obi situation where you
That's true.
just work out.
Obi's the bomb. I don't want to work out that much, though.
Nah. You can voice somebody that works out.
There you go.
Kyle can be Obi's muscle.
Yes.
I voice
just
his
the
squeaky
cobras.
muscle. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think that's about all we can get for that. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Woo! You know.
This is for all of you or whoever feels like answering. Before you accepted the job or when you were offered the job, had any of you read it yet or were any of you excited that it was a Soul Eater creator manga?
I think I was just like walking into the building and Kyle's like, hey, you're going to be in my show. And I was like, sweet. And then I went back to writing.
I don't think I knew, because I auditioned for Sister Iris. I don't think I knew that when I auditioned, and then I think I knew it by the time I was brought in for my first session, and then I was like, oh, that's really cool, because I love that animation style.
Yeah, I think I was something similar because I was, aware of the Soul Eater universe, but when I auditioned, I don't know if I was aware, but pretty quickly after, I don't know, everything kind of came together, and I was quickly aware.
I was definitely not aware at all.
Soul Eater is one of my favorite anime, and when I heard that the creator was coming out with Fire Force, I was thrilled, and I had started reading the manga, and I auditioned, and then out of the first slots of the first pass of auditions, I did not get cast, and I'm a very petty person, so I was very upset. And then Kyle swung by. I was hanging out in the lobby of Funimation one day, and Kyle swung by and he was like, "Hey, I have a part for you. I think I have a part for you." And I was like, "Okay, can you? Who is it?" He's like, "Benimaru." And I was like, "Shut the f up." Yeah. So I was thrilled. I was a huge fan of the series, and coming into it, it's a dream.
Oh yeah, no, Benimaru is actually my favorite character, so when I learned that you were the voice actor, I was also very happy. So I'm gonna be coming and seeing you later today, probably.
Sir, come by my table later. If you need anything you need for free, it's yours.
Yeah, Aaron, I think I told you this. You were like the first person I cast.
Oh wow.
What?
Yeah.
Out of everyone?
Yeah.
All right.
I was like, Aaron is
Let
going to
him
be
simmer
Benny Morrow.
in spite?
Yes.
Long?
Yeah, it's fun.
Healthy
Fun to be like, you
disrespect
didn't
for
get any of the parts
authority,
you auditioned for.
antisocial.
Well, no, okay, so this is a fun story. I had read, someone had recommended me to read Fire Force. And I don't really read a lot of manga. They're like, you need to read it. And I was like, all right. So I started reading it. I was like, I think like 2 books in when I saw the announcement that Funimation was getting it. And so I went to the producers. I was like, hey, I'm really into this manga. I'd love to direct it. Not knowing that in the same exact time, Jeremy Inman, who's Obi, who used to be a firefighter for 20 years, also was like, hey, I'm a firefighter. Like, I really want to direct this show. And so they were like, we're going to give it to Kyle since he read the manga. And he was so mad. And I was like, I got you, boo. And so he was Obi. Like, in my mind, like, he already was Obi. Obi's so, like, silly. And so he was kind of
And you made him the
Obi
best
from the start.
captain.
Obi's pretty great. And Inman does a great job. And when we did did anyone see the cast announcement video we did for Fire Force?
It's cool.
That was
a
the
lot of
most
fun.
thrown together improvised thing I've ever done. But it was kismet all around because Inman, being a former firefighter, like had this hookup with this guy who worked at a fire station that happened to be fire station number 8, which of course company, and we're like, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. And like it just all like came together, and so it was basically me and Inman running around like, oh, let's do this, and it was like Inman's gonna just have this hatchet, and Colleen Klinkenbeard, who's a special features producer, she was like, wait, let's sign some liability stuff. We're like, nah, we're fine, here we go. And so she was like freaking out as we were running around like playing with firefighter equipment.
It was very silly, fun
To be
time.
fair, Colleen has had to take an actor to the hospital for a special feature before.
Oh wait, it was Justin.
Briner. Yeah.
I think I'd remember that.
So I could understand her being like, no, sign these forms.
Yeah,
It
no,
was just an urgent care. It's
Ruined it for everyone.
yes.
He was fine. He's here.
And in that, I forgot in that video we made Derick like the dunce.
Yeah, I was like a derp. I just derped. I was like cleaning the side of the fire truck.
We have to ride in a fire engine though. That was cool.
Yeah, it was great. I got to put on a little hat and go woo woo.
So yes, I did read it.
Okay, perfect.
In short.
Well, no, those are my questions. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
2 questions actually, is that fine?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay, first, is Justin Snow here? I think that's him. Right? Okay.
Hi.
This is a question for you. Is Shinra on the higher side of your vocal range?
Well,
Oh, wait,
I'm
that's
so-
me.
Oh,
I
sorry.
play
There's
Shinra.
Shinra.
Okay.
Yeah, Shinra. Is it on the higher side of my vocal range? So it depends on how much I sleep, I guess. Let's see. I remember when we came started like doing the audition. I remember because I had done Fairy Tale, I think, as Wall Ito, and he kind of had that same gravel, but I think he was a little bit way more maniacal, way crazier, and maybe a little deeper. I can't remember. And whenever I started recording, we wanted to take Shinra just a little higher into like 17-ish. So yeah, I think that's where he lived. Yeah. So when I get excited, my voice goes higher and higher and higher. And so I just bring Shinra instead of here, way up here, where Rill or something from Black Clover or something lives. And then I bring it down here, and then I add this little thing. So, yeah, he lives a little bit higher, I think, than what I normally do. Of course, he's also a lot, gravelier and more devil.
Fiery.
More fiery. Yeah, his feet are more on fire and stuff. Yeah. I think just when I get excited, I sound a lot more like him.
Yeah, that's what put Derick in the forefront of my mind when I was casting the show. Was I directed the final season of Fairy Tale and his villain Wall Ito, and I don't know, you just sound like you have sharp teeth.
Yeah, you got to do one. Yeah, and smiling. I always sound like I'm smiling for some reason. So you had that teeth right there, and it just lives there the whole time.
You do sound like that.
I always sound like I'm smiling, like I'm the happiest person ever.
Yeah.
So mad.
Yeah, and so yeah, I knew he could do it.
Okay, well, thank you for that question. The second question, this is for all of you. If you have heard the Fire Force openings, which one's your favorite?
Oh my God, they're all so good.
Yeah, they're all fantastic. But I must say, like the first time I heard the first opener, it was just like, wow. this kicks really hard. This is amazing. It's like, this is going to set this just the emotional scene off, and it did. It was awesome.
I like the rock and roll theme.
Mayday. It's called
Mayday.
Mayday.
Yeah.
Inferno.
Apple.
I think this second, whenever Ya comes in as Mayday, I thought it was called Mayday. Maybe I'm wrong though. Maybe I don't. Maybe I'm just quoting lyrics. That one was cool, but I do think I like the first opening the best. But they all really slap.
They're all bops. That
Are you guys laughing? Do people don't say that anymore? Am I old?
Yes,
I'm
it's
laughing
bussin'.
Very
No cap.
No cap.
I'm groaning.
Quick, someone tell me how to teenage.
Can I get a higher?
Oh,
Golly.
What happened?
Kyle knows how to teenage. That's what happened.
Yeah,
I have teenagers. You think I would know how to teenage?
I'm hip.
You're really cool, Kyle.
He's
I'm on
definitely,
TikTok.
definitely tell Kyle's on TikTok.
Yeah, he's on TikTok. That's what's up. Yeah.
Yes, I would go with the first opening theme. I was super in love with that until I heard the opening theme for Megalobox 2, Nomad, which is dupe.
I really like the.
What's that
ending
word
of
you just said?
Dupe.
Yeah.
Jupe?
Dope.
So
Dope.
yelp. Yelp.
Jupe.
Stop trying to make dupe happen, man.
It's never gonna happen.
I'm an influencer. We can't help it.
Everyone says slaps.
Everyone.
Everyone.
Yeah.
It's a banger that slaps.
It's a real tink slapper.
But if that was all,
That sounds bad.
but if that was all, thank you for letting me ask those questions.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, man.
All right. Wow, it's weird to see Mocha and Deku in real.
Worlds colliding. Ow!
But anyways, 2 questions. Potential season 2 spoiler ahead, like we haven't had a lot already. At the end of season 2, we get a tease where the Fire Force universe might be connected to Soul Eater in a way. And what characters would you want to see pair up if that happens?
The really hungriest soul?
Yeah.
Hungriest one, right?
I want to see Death the Kid and his pistols with fighting Arthur with his sword.
Yeah, let's see Benimaru team up with Dr. Stein.
Woo!
They have similar terrible attitudes.
All right, and my second question. What are some of your favorite roles that aren't Fire Force? Like
Kyle Phillips' friend. It's my favorite role.
What?
Kyle Phillips' friend. It's you.
Kyle Phillips' friend.
Sorry, you wanted to keep talking. Sure, I don't know. Probably Sunny and Toriko or Uta and Tokyo Ghoul are also pretty. Those are pretty good.
Not Max Galactica and Ace Attorney?
Yeah, no, actually, Max Galactica. You know you're making a good show when you can't continue working because you're laughing so hard. If you have not seen that dub, you should watch it.
The Ace Attorney dub is a treasure.
Yeah.
No,
Especially those.
that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Treasure.
All right, thanks for the thank you for the answers.
Oh.
Thank you.
Do you have someone who you think is just god tier in an occupation or a hobby that you have? Not even just voice acting, but in any kind of like hobby that you want to pursue.
Like Beyonce? Yes.
I want to be as smart as Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
Because I'm so stupid. I want to be able to describe the universe so easily than just, it's really hot and stuff.
I wish I could draw as well as Rosuri. I don't know. She's so good. Like, she's an artist on Twitter as well as many other places, but she has like really beautiful eyes and shading. I like to draw, so like that's. I'm always looking at her stuff and being like, one day I'll be at that level.
Probably Bo Burnham
Oh.
is probably god level. Yeah.
I just got Inside out of my head. I've been singing those songs incessantly.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, Bo Burnham, great. I'm at the top of my game, so I'm good.
Yes. Thank you muchly.
The picture of self-love.
No, if I could ever direct a full-length live-action movie, Quentin Tarantino. I know I guess that's somehow like turned into a meme or like a typical like, of course your favorite movie is Pulp Fiction, but it is. I love that movie. And if I could work on or direct like Quentin Tarantino, man, like the way he directs dialogue and writes dialogue is just incredible. I'd love to do that.
I wish I was as good of a writer as Sarah J. Maas. I like her work a lot. She's a fantasy writer. She writes about hot fairy dudes. If you're into that.
Oh, we have a new questioner. Hello.
Testing. Nice to meet you all. First, I'd like to say thanks for all your work on Fire Force. I did watch the anime in dub, and I enjoyed all the episodes, so looking forward to more.
Thanks for watching it dubbed. I appreciate you.
That's ironic because my question is a general question for all of you guys, and it's more open-ended. Have you ever ran into like a fan maybe wearing like a shirt of a character you ever voiced, not just Fire Force, and have you ever kind of surprised them with you voicing your character in English, but maybe they saw it in Japanese sub, and they didn't know who you are, and it was kind of embarrassing or awkward? Just if you feel free to share any funny stories with meeting fans.
About a week and a half ago, I did some day drinking at a Mikosina in East Dallas, and there was
Mambo
someone wearing...
Taxi?
I'm sorry?
Mambo Taxi?
Mambo Taxi.
Yes.
But there was someone wearing an Overhaul T-shirt, and it may have been the Mambo Taxis that encouraged me to scream at this child from across the parking lot. But it was like, yeah, Overhaul, nice shirt, bro. And then he came over, was like, oh, thanks, whatever. I was like, I'm actually in that show. And he was like, and I don't normally I don't normally do that sort of thing. It was a lot for me during this when people would be in a Kroger or a Tom Thumb, and I would see them with a Tokyo Ghoul mask on, and I'd be like, hey, that's me. I do that. That's me. But yeah. Anyway, I've been day drinking during the trips to the grocery store too. So
That may not have even happened.
Who knows?
Hey, I mean, I usually don't see stuff with my characters outside of cons, but I was once recognized in the wild, which has never happened because I think I look pretty normal. But we were going to Collecticon to have lunch with Brittany Karbowski because she was in town. And we didn't say we were going. We weren't guests. We were literally just showing up to have burgers and then leave. And we were in the parking garage, and so we're dressed normally. We have masks or whatever. And this guy walks up the stairs, and so we wait. I've got an armful of burgers. And so I'm waiting for this guy to walk up. He's got this big poster, and he sets it down as he comes up to the stairs, and he looks up, and he drops his poster, and he picks it up, and he's like, oh! And I'm with Clifford Chapin, who is my fiance. So we're together, and the guy he drops the poster, and I'm used to this because Cliff is pretty well known, and he goes, Kristen McGuire. And I was like, you said my name first. He goes, Kristen McGuire, Clifford Chapin. I love you. And Hinsky. And I was like, Hinsky? I was like, we did so many wonderful shows. That was a movie show. But he was like, I love your work the most, and it's just such a pleasure to meet you. And I have so many questions, but I'll save it for a panel. Thank you so much, and have a great day. And I was like, he was so polite. But yeah, so that's the only time something like that has ever happened to me. But I do want to put it on the record that I was recognized first. Despite wearing a face mask.
That's awesome.
I just want to say, I think day drinking at a Mikosina is the opposite of closing down a bar and then going to a Whataburger.
He's like, I'm going to go close down Whataburger.
What is this saying? Is 6 p.m. is the 2 a.m. of day drinking? Isn't that the way that it goes? Right? Guys, don't judge me. Yeah.
I was at a park once with my wife, and I did see somebody with a Fire Force shirt, but I'm so I'm so weird. Yeah. I'm just
No, I'm too shy about it.
I did say, hey, you like Fire Force? That's awesome. And then I I need a hype man to just, you know who does it? Because it's just weird.
That's my husband. He tries to be my hype man.
Yeah.
And he's like, can I tell him? Can I tell him? And I'm like, no. Don't do it. No, because I've been burned. And and you say it and they're like, oh, I only watch sub. And then you're like.
Yeah, that's what I thought
So I
you guys
just
were
don't
going to.
anymore. I just stay hidden.
So, any Skate the Infinity fans? So, I directed Skate the Infinity, me and Chris Wakekamp did. And I actually had a panel about this recently, and we were talking about how it seemed like skateboarding kind of popped back up like recently. And we're like, did you all, like everyone we talked to, it's like, whenever you see someone skateboarding, do you just want to get the urge to be like, hey, you're a skateboarder, do you know Skate the Infinity? And I've never actually gone up to anyone and asked them if they're into this anime about boys who are into each other, but.
I will say that my 14-year-old is into anime, of course, and so like she's in high school. There's a lot of kids that are into anime, and one day she came home and she's like, "Mom, I saw a kid at school and they were wearing a Yuri on Ice T-shirt." I was like, "Oh my God, did you tell them I was in that show?" She's like, "No." And she's like, "And I saw a kid wearing a My Hero shirt." And I was like, "Did you tell them that?" And she's like, "No." And she's like, "And this kid had a Re Life sweatshirt." And I was like, "Holy crap. Did you tell them I'm in that?" And she's like, "No." I was like, "Piper, do your friends know I'm cool?" And she's like, "No."
I don't want you to look cool.
My parents
life.
like to tell me that they have used the fact that their daughter is a voice actor to get discounts on things.
Nice.
So, and my
That's
dad
how
is
you
like
do it.
so proud of that. Like he'll call me randomly and be like, "Hey, so I was like buying a car, and like the guy who like sold me the car, I was just making small talk when we were working on the paperwork, and I asked him if he was like a Dragon Ball fan or."
I did do that when I was buying my car.
Yeah.
I
And
did.
then-
I
Oh,
did get
yeah.
a discount
And
because
then
my.
It does
my
equate
quote
to
was-
military
Next time I
service.
see you, can you sign a print for
Yeah.
the guy at the car dealership that you've never
Thank
met,
you.
and can I like drop it off? Or like one time I
Thank
did
you.
a commercial campaign for Lennox, and my parents got a Lennox air conditioning unit installed in their home. It was like a Nest thing. And they got a discount because he just told the guy that I was the voice of that campaign, and the guy didn't even like cross-check it. He was just like, "Oh, that's really cool. Here's like $800 off."
Oh my gosh.
That's how you do it.
I was like, "Y'all should be paying me for that."
You have like a cool story. My kid's just embarrassed to know me.
I mean, I wish my parents wouldn't do that.
My mom's like, "No, it's not my mom."
Hey.
Just imagining firefighters doing their job, and then you're just like, my kid voices in that show. And they're like, great. No one
Cool story, kid.
a little more technical question, actually, because you were talking about when stuff was shut down, and that was interesting. Since in dub, you're kind of separated anyway from like, your engineer and the director. I guess it's still very different, but since the business came over a lot of stuff online in the past like year and a half, how much do you see it going back to or just continuing on that track? Or like, what do you think that's going to do for it, basically? And I have a little bonus too after that.
I'm hoping to never go back into the studio.
Every single meeting. That's what Kyle says.
My agent in LA talked to me about this because, of course, I'm remote for him, and he thinks his prediction is that like video games and dubbing work will continue to thrive off the remote world because it opens up to a lot more talent and it saves studio fees. But he thinks that animation, because a lot of that's recorded as an ensemble cast, will eventually go back to in studio. But like commercial video games and ADR work he thinks there's a really good chance it'll stay remote. And I kind of hope it does because it opens up a lot more doors. Personally, that's his thought.
Or to at least have that option. It's nice to, if you want to go in, you can go in. If you want to stay home, you can stay home. I think that's cool.
Certainly.
Do you guys have a preference? Like,
when it comes to directing, I would like to be back in studio because there's so much like remote stuff. Listen, you don't have to agree with me. It's a technical thing because you can't see like the flaps in real time. There's a lag, and so it's really difficult to know. Like having done it all from home on one show and then in a smaller studio on a different show I much prefer being in studio because then I can see exactly what the engineer is looking at. Whereas with a show that's done completely remotely, I have to wait until I get like booth review back to like double check if things were fitting, and I don't like that. I like being able to do it as we go.
we just found a workaround for that.
Really?
You just assume everything works.
Just lean on the engineer. Thanks, buddy.
The slightly more important one is if you guys had to play Smokey the Bear in the universe of Fire Force, go ahead and put him in there on like whether it's power scaling, villain, hero. Go ahead and put him in that universe.
I think Smokey the Bear would be like the mascot.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's already in there.
Only you can prevent infernals.
Yeah. You just kind of pop in and just kind of make the room awkward. Everyone just kind of like stops.
Only you
We all
can
feel
keep
bad.
your parents
Yeah.
from combusting.
He's the guy that shows up when like, you know, everything's already on fire and he's like, what'd I tell you?
I told you guys.
I found a shirt in Chinatown in San Francisco that just had the mascots on it.
Nice. They're so cute.
I'm waiting for their true power to be revealed. That's what it'll be. Smokey the Bear is going to come in and just destroy. He's the ultimate villain.
The power's just going to end up being friendship. I mean, that's
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Josh.
Hi.
Hey.
I actually had 2 questions. One for anybody that's actually already seen My Hero Academia or has that had any hand in it.
I think that's almost
all of
everybody.
Yeah, I think we've all done.
Or just, second one is just a general question to any of the people that are doing voice acting for any of the characters. First question is, I saw it's the one thing that actually got me into the anime. It's where basically they're saying that Eijiro, Kirishima, and Shinra were basically like related at some point just because of the teeth. Do you guys see it?
They're related?
Well, like they're just because it's a joke that they're related based solely off the fact that they got the teeth and basically act the same.
Tetsu has shark teeth, and both the characters I play have shark teeth as well.
They go to
So
the
it's a
same
large
dental-
family, apparently.
Dental hygienist. Nice jacket.
I think it's just that they all have quirks and weird teeth and mouths.
It's just then the reverse is, do you think all the characters that have the tsundere tooth, are they all related?
Yeah. They only have one tooth.
They all have the same dad.
Same dad. It would be wonderful if it was true.
That would be. Anime is just one connected universe.
Would.
And then second question for everybody that has gone over their characters, do you guys believe that the characters that you guys play are characters that viewers can actually emotionally get attached to?
Oh, emotionally attached to.
I think in general, whenever I'm trying to play any character, I try to put a portion of myself into the role. So whether it may not initially, on paper, have direct relation to me, I do try to put my particular spin on it. So it could be coming from some part of myself. So, and also with Shinra, he's kind of a cool dude that flies around and he's a hero. So I'd like to imagine I can do that. I want my wife to see me as a hero like that. I'm so cool.
With hot feet.
Hot feet. Yeah, I've got really nice abs and. What was I saying?
I'm really attached to Tama from Magical Girl Raising Project, which I feel like is a very niche show, but she is one of my all-time favorite characters. So she's has my whole heart and soul, and I would do anything for her.
I got really attached to Howard Link and D. Grayman. Because I got to do a bunch of things with that voice that I hadn't gotten to do before, and then it was also kind of this full circle moment because I went to college with Todd Haberkorn, and he plays Alan Walker. And it was wild to step into that role and kind of be his big brother, whatever person. But and then I think the last episode that we recorded, I got stomped somewhere in an alleyway. He's still alive, but I didn't know that. And then we didn't dub any more of it. I was and that was gutting. Anyway, that's my story. How are they?
I'm super attached and always will be to Yuki from Wolf Children.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for the golf claps. Yeah, that movie just meant a lot to me, and I love that character so much.
That movie makes me cry every single time.
I've gotten emotionally attached to too many characters. I'm having a hard time choosing one.
Yeah, I feel like every show that I'm working on, I in my mind, I just make that one my favorite.
I'm always really attached to the paycheck.
Yeah, I'm really attached to what pays me right now.
I'm a chaotic murder hobo, and so Isuzu Ichinose from Space Battleship Tiramisu, that's my guy. Because that show was just Leah Clark writing and just going insane, and Jeremy Inman directing me, and me and him just being like, this would be funny, and just letting loose.
That's a terrible combination for
It was a terrible
but
combination.
It results in some really funny stuff.
Yeah, it was great. We had a lot of fun on that. So that was almost my purest form of comedy, or the Ace Attorney outtakes. That was also
Those are
my
classic. I loved all
purest
those.
form of comedy.
Yeah.
Oh, outtakes. R.I.P.
It's really fun hearing Pearl, the little girl that Alexis voices in Ace Attorney,
Yeah, that was
curse or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Is that it?
I think so.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I have a hard time with that question because I like so many. So many characters. So yeah.
All right, fair enough. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We have time for one more question. One more
You guys
question.
now have to like thumb word out.
Do you want it?
No, don't do that.
Here's the thing. I have never seen anime. I've literally seen like 1.5 anime shows. So I have not seen Fire Force.
Oh.
Right, that's the name of it.
I was gonna ask you if you've seen Fire Force.
Hey, listen, I'm just glad this isn't going
We're
to turn
asking
into
the
another My
questions
Hero
here.
question. Huh?
What?
No. Okay. So I've seen like half of Overlord, and I've seen
Yes!
I've seen all of Parasite. And then I've seen like most of High School DxD.
Of course you have.
Season 4 is the funniest.
Most of. I remember like I watched like the beginning of like season 3, and it was like really, really cool.
What you're not telling us is that you've seen DxD like 7,000 times.
Not quite.
It's a really good
Not quite.
show.
But
It has a lot of plot development.
So the next 2 shows on my list are The Time I Was Reincarnated as a Slime and Fire Force.
I
So
recommend that
there's
time
that.
I got
Yes.
reincarnated as a slime a lot.
What about Dr. Stone?
I don't know.
Hey.
She's my anime manager. So there's
you
that.
Well, anime
But
manager, put Dr. Stone on the list.
I do have a question for you guys as voice actors.
Okay.
Awesome.
Or actors in general.
I
Okay.
think we're all both of those things.
Right? Great. Perfect. Wonderful. The question is quite plainly, what is your dream role?
Dream role.
Like from maybe from the time right before you guys got started in your careers, or if you still have that same guy now, or maybe you have a new person that you want to play, either live action or animation.
I want to be a princess. Thank you.
There you go. Done.
I want to be Izuku Midoriya in My Hero Academia.
You can do it.
No, I want to be in a Quentin Tarantino movie, and I feel like he's going to retire soon. Man, that would be the biggest feather in my cap, is to be directed by Quentin Tarantino. Or my dream, and actually this applied to me as a director as well, but to either be in or direct a like joke dub. Like, I assume everyone knows Ghost Stories.
Mm-hmm.
Man, if I could work on a Ghost Stories type dub, that would be incredible.
That's basically what Hensky was. Yeah. I would like to be somebody kind of like Kohaku and Dr. Stone, like a really strong female protagonist that could kick some butt, because I feel like there's not a ton of those in anime, especially like shonen anime. So I would love to play a character like that could like really like handle herself and is just like really good at fighting, but also is like a really cool character, like good character. So. Maline could kick your butt, but Maline was also very childish. So I don't know. Like I think that would be really cool to something kind of like Kohaku. Like she's really loyal to her friends, and she's really strong, and she has a good heart and a good head on her shoulders and stuff like that. So that would be mine. Or a magical girl.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Again. Maybe with a happier ending.
Oh.
Man, when I was a
down.
kid, I could swear that I was gonna be the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, Troy Aikman. I just knew I would be, and I am 5'5" still, and it never happened.
Still 5 inches.
They
tall?
might need you to see.
Well, we're gonna make a little tiny football team.
No, Dak's coming back, bro.
Sure. Yeah. I hope so. He's the only redeeming part of the team. Anyway, to answer your question.
That's true.
I would like to play a lead detective on season 6 of True Detective.
Oh, that'd be nice. Good stuff.
Or in terms of voice work, I would like to play the Riddler.
You'd be a good Riddler.
I could see it just from this panel. I could totally see it.
Yeah.
I would love to be in a Baz Luhrmann musical new thing. That would be amazing. I would love that. And then I would love to do some cool new Pixar movie. That would be
Ooh, yeah.
You're the last one.
Yeah, I would love to be in something like Final Fantasy related.
Ooh. Okay.
Musical theater is a big part of my background, so I miss all that. I'd like to be a Seymour type, you know.
Yeah, you
Beat
Seymour.
All right.
I want to be the lady in that
That's fine.
little shop.
I want to be the plant.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We believe in you.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much to our guests. Give a big round of applause to Jade and Derick and Kristen and Kyle and Alexis and Justin.